McIntyre, Velda's son, and on behalf of my sisters, Cheryl Cousins and her husband Jim, and Terry Faust and her husband Don, and my wife Heather, we'd like to thank you for being here to celebrate our mom's life. Promise you I'll get through this in a timely fashion. And also like to say on behalf of all the grandchildren and great-grandchildren that are here. Go ahead, get your witness. Velda Darlene Householder was born August 10, 1933 in Hoxie, Arkansas, to Weldon and Bessie Householder. She had two sisters, Virginia Baker, Drusa Hunt, and two brothers, Melvin Householder and Elbert Householder. My mom, Velda, attended school in Clover Bend, Arkansas, and graduated from Clover Bend High School. And coming from such humble beginnings, she sure got to be a highfalutin after a time. So. Portia, Arkansas was really where she grew up. They were simple farming folks. But Mom married George McIntyre June 2nd, 1950, and thus began her gypsy lifestyle, because my dad sure liked to move a lot. We tell the story that as kids, well, I never went to one school more than 3 semesters until my junior and senior year in high school, so that tells you a little bit about what Mom went through. But they settled in Michigan for a while and raised a family. They actually had 4 children. Deborah passed through a miscarriage, and then there was Debbie, myself, Cheryl, and Terry. And she had 7 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren. Mom came to the Phoenix area in 1978, I believe it was, but she was employed by Bell Telephone for 30 years, and she retired in March of 1994. After that, she became a travel agent and began another phase of her life where she just went hog wild, traveling all over the world. She lived like a rock star, really, calling us from exotic places all over. I always said if I could have let her manage my money, I would have been a millionaire, because she did things on less money than anybody I knew. But she was able to travel the world, and it was after well, I skipped over a part here, but after a couple of vacations from Michigan down to Arizona, she fell in love and moved out here. But while she was there, she attended Deliverance Tabernacle in Flint, Michigan, and after they moved here, they attended Trinity Tabernacle for several years. She was attending Cathedral Christian Center at the time of her death, and she loved her seniors group that she went to there. She looked forward to it every week. My mom never met a party that she didn't like, and she never shied away from the attention of her adoring fans. In fact, she would often comment about how many friends she had, and how she loved being with them and how much they loved her. But Mom was a devoted Christian mother and grandmother. She had a strength that I don't have a clue where it came from, but it was certainly there. As many of you know, my mom and dad divorced, but Mom ended up marrying Paul Cottle in 1997 and actually became an official Snowbirds. They split their time between Phoenix and Michigan. Paul only really had one condition: if he could find somebody that would preach out of the King James Version, he would be happy. That's really his minor requirement. But they enjoyed a life together. It was short, but they did a lot of things together, and we're very happy. My mom was preceded in death by our sister Deborah, that we never knew, but her brother Melvin, and then Bessie and Weldon Householder.